So we've just come back from filming with the migrants in the migrant rescue ship, the Phoenix, and it was an interesting, to say the least, experience. And particularly meeting Mohammed. Mohammed is such a fascinating guy, such a brave guy, and very determined. The fact that he took his family, his wife and 5 children from Eritrea all the way through Africa to the borders with Libya, across Libya, and then onto the boats to get rescued by the Phoenix is absolutely amazing. The boats were absolutely crammed, packed with people. You had a fishing boat made for probably, what, a handful of people, 10, 12 people? 560 people on that boat when we met it on the open seas. 200 of them were downstairs, below decks, and along those was Mohammed. He was below decks as well. When we were filming down there, the heat, the stench, the conditions that they had to face, we were only there for what, 10, 15 minutes. Mohammed and the rest of the migrants were down in that hold, which was almost like a slave ship, for hours upon hours. I don't know how they did it, I really don't. When we got to the side of the boats and we had this sea of humanity, all these faces looking at us, and what really struck us was that they weren't saying anything. It was so quiet, it was a peaceful day, the sea was calm, yet as we approached on our rib, you had this blue boat literally covered with people, and not just men, it was women and young children. There were young children, sort of 4 or 5-year-olds, looking over the top of the boat, looking at us on the boat that we were rescuing them from, expectantly. You can see in their eyes that they were scared, but also they were massively relieved that finally, after 6 or 7 hours on the open sea, they'd been saved. So we brought them from the ribs onto the deck of the Phoenix. That's the boat that was the rescue boat. So the first thing that Mohammed did when he came onto the deck of the Phoenix was to pray. He was to thank God, he was saying, for his deliverance. But also he was praying for the welfare of his kids, because he had 3 children and a wife who were on another boat still out there in the ocean, and he was massively worried about that. Thanking his God for saving him and his 2 kids, but hoping that the other 3 children and his wife would also be saved. Making this documentary, filming with the migrants on the Phoenix, it was a privilege to be able to be close to the rescuers and to be close to this story, which is so massive at the moment.